Welcome to another CTV Sports presentation. CTV Sports is brought to you by St. Clair Chevy Buick GMC. We care. By Murphy Inn Restaurant and Hotel in St. Clair. By North Star Bank, North Star, guiding the way. By Neiman's Family Market. By St. Clair Home Goods and Ace Hardware. And by CTV, Community TV for Marine City and St. Clair.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another presentation of high school basketball on CTV. St. Clair Saints hosting the Marysville Vikings. Tom Brenner and Brad Robbins getting you ready for action. But before we get things going, we'll send it down to Coach Denny White for the introduction of our starting lineups and the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, St. Clair High School welcomes you to tonight's varsity contest between the Vikings of Marysville High School and the Saints of St. Clair High School. Tonight's starting lineups in the spirit of sportsmanship read in all fashion, beginning with the Vikings. Senior, number 11, Gabby Fogarty. For the Saints, sophomore, number 1, Sky Gatler. For Marysville, sophomore, number 13, Anna O. For St. Clair, freshman, number 4, Erin Saros. For the Vikings, sophomore, number 20, Caitlin King. For the Saints, senior, number 5, Annalise Lamontagne. For Marysville, senior, number 21, Allison Hall. For St. Clair, junior, number 10, Christina Bone. For the Vikings, senior, number 23, Randy Schneider. For the Saints, junior, number 11, Sarah Lohr. The Vikings are coached by Ryan Rethke, assisted by Mark Dickinson. The Saints are coached by Darren Pietrkowski, assisted by Eric Lohr.
Well, we're off and running here on CTV, Brad. Got the technical difficulties figured out and the introduction of our starting lineups. And The Saints got a couple of familiar characters in the starting lineup and also a couple of younger players getting a chance to start tonight.
Yeah, I see that. Obviously, haven't had a ton of opportunities to watch the Saints play as they started out with that gauntlet on the road to start off Coach Pietrkowski's tenure here with the Saints. But Erin Saros, I see in the lineup, a young lady who was with us at the middle school last year and has cracked her way into the starting lineup tonight along with Sky Gottler. So a little bit of a youth movement here and probably a good thing. Gonna test out in a rivalry game here at home against Marysville. Rivalry game, league game, and stopping Gabby Fogarty will be the recipe for success.
Vikings with 3 wins in the gold, the Saints with 2. Fogarty right off the bat takes it to the rack, misses, gets her rebound, and scores.
No sooner did I say her name than she made her presence known there on the floor. I know this was a pretty tight contest last time these two teams met. Fogarty spent a good deal of the early part of that game in foul trouble, which is good strategically for Coach Pietrkowski. You want to do that again. That's going to, anytime you can take the best player off the floor, probably the best player in the game today, then that's going to help you out, give you that advantage.
Gottler will trigger from the baseline, looking to get it in. Got it in the corner. Laura will take the 3 on its way long. Rebound almost brought down by Saros, almost brought down by Gottler. Vikings have it, knocked away by Laura, and the Vikings keep the basketball.
Saints aggressive early, staying in the front court, trying to poke the ball away. Quick on the rebound. It looked like a 3-man trap there right away, so getting aggressive are the Saints.
Hall with the basketball now, hands it off to Kane. Get it over in the corner to Fogarty. Fogarty looking to get it inside. A lot of bodies there, all the way to the rack, gets in the lane, goes up and misses. Good defense, good rebound. Back comes Christina Bowman, the Saints. Good look inside, good knock away, recovery by Anna Oles.
Nice recovery there by the Vikings. Pretty good look, honestly. A split second earlier, and that's a bucket for the Saints. Just need to get up the head up just a touch earlier.
Gottler gets it in. LaMontagne to get it back to Laura. She'll try another 3. This one up, rattles in and out. Almost brought down by LaMontagne. Can't get it. Fogarty on the deck. Bunch of Saints on the deck. Ball goes out of bounds to Marysville.
There you see that aggression by the Saints there. Fogarty with the rebound and then 4 white jerseys all around. Strategic move. I know Coach Pietrkowski at the early part of his coaching this season was lamenting the fact that all the teams did that. I said, you better get used to it because that's the order of girls basketball a lot is they just get aggressive and force the refs to call that foul. And I can see he's kind of just employing it as a strategy of his own.
Gottler had a steal, couldn't quite finish on the break. Annalise LaMontagne ends up with the basketball. She's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Saints a little bit unfortunate here early. They've had some easy looks. Haven't been able to convert yet.
Foul on 23. That's senior Randy Schneider. First free throw for LaMontagne. Up and no good. Second one on its way. That one's up and good.
Laura continues to apply that pressure.
Allison Hall bringing the ball up. Nifty move. Can't quite finish. Brought down by Saros. And back come the Saints. Just a minute and a half into this game. Pretty good pace to it so far. LaMontagne in the corner. Thought about taking the jumper. Back to Bohm. Dribbles to her right. Back over Saros. Saints taking their time. Laura up top.
Saros looking like she's just getting her feet wet still. I think she passed up a scoring opportunity, but her body language didn't indicate that she really knew it was a scoring opportunity quite yet.
Picked up her dribble, needs a little help. Gets it to Bohm. She'll take a little jumper. Can't find the rim. Goes out of bounds to the Vikings. Two to 1 early on. Just 2 minutes into this game. Vikings break the pressure. Bohm got a hand on it and comes away with the basketball. They got numbers if they want them. Up ahead, LaMontagne can't quite gather it. Allison Hall with the steal. Up come the Vikings. Fogarty's up ahead. She goes up off glass and good.
Both teams kind of looking to push. It's a little bit messy, but it's fun to watch right now.
Yeah. LaMontagne kicks it back outside. Bohm up top. Laura back inside. LaMontagne dribbles it up. Finishes and one.
Nice body control, Annalise LaMontagne. Off balance finish, soft touch. Gets the home court roll and will go to the line for 3 points the hard way.
Annalise just recently signed to run cross country up at SC4.
Very nice. program is off and running there at the community college, I know.
Yep, and they're getting track.
Oh, very nice. Always looking to expand up there. They do a really good job. Their athletic program is really taken off. Take a lot of pride in it.
Yep. Scoreboard reads 4-3, but I believe we're at 4-4. Could be wrong.
That's correct, yep.
Kane
There's the correction. Mr. Bill Durrow is not going to leave it incorrect for long. There's a lot of experience in those fingertips.
Fogarty showing some patience, then drives the lane. Met by 3 Saints, can't finish. Good defense. Can the Saints come away with it? Yes. Saros up ahead. Lord up off the glass. Nope, off the rim. No good. LaMontagne there to clean it up, and another friendly roll, and it goes through.
So right now we've got Annalise LaMontagne 6 and Gabby Fogarty 4 here.
Saints pick up their first lead of the ball game.
Officials kind of letting that contact out in the middle of the floor go.
Saints getting it done on the defensive end of the floor so far.
Julie Schweihofer is going to check for the Saints. And maybe Reese Powers there for the Vikings.
Schweihofer will bring the basketball up, just a sophomore for Coach Pietrzakowski. Saints turn it over. Fogarty was waiting for that. Got it. She brings it up. Goes up. Got it. Throws a little contact off glass and good. No foul calls. Give her 6 points. Vikings bringing a little pressure. Schweihofer dribbles it off of her leg. She'll need a little help. Gets it across to Bohm. Bohm takes a couple dribbles. She's guarded by Fogarty. Saros dribble. Bohm. 3 on its way. Up and good.
Nice shot by Christina Bohm. Plenty of size. Looks like she's kind of expanding that game a little bit. A little more reminiscent of her sister Jessica, getting out on the perimeter. I know last year she spent a lot more time in the interior, probably just a need that they have to get her out on the outside, let her shoot a little bit.
Great look ahead there from Aaron Saros to Annalise LaMontagne, but she can't quite finish. Back comes Marysville.
Just a little too deep. Annalise just under that sweet spot that you can finish, made it awkward.
Allison Hall with the basketball for Ryan Ratsey's Vikings. Schweihofer on her. Vikings swing it around. They're looking to get it inside to Fogarty. She makes a nice move off glass and good.
Tough matchup there. Aaron Saros, the freshman, on a talented 6-footer, and Gabby Fogarty. She kind of spins and puts her to work there. Might need to get a little help if that's going to be the matchup they're going to try to exploit.
Little touch foul called there against Marysville.
Viking foul number 20.
A couple subs for both teams.
Team's third.
Van Slambrook coming in for the Saints, as well as Tatum Brooks. Good basketball so far. Saros gets it in to Brooks. Inside, LaMontagne thought about it. Good look inside. Saros has it. Tries to get it. Back out to Brooks. Drives the lane. Steps through, puts it up. No good. LaMontagne there once again. Saros ends up with it. She can't finish. Ball is loose, and back come the Vikings. That was Madison Smith who couldn't quite get it. Fogarty drives the lane, goes up off glass, draws contact, finishes, and one.
Did not take Gabby Fogarty long to get into double digits tonight. And she's at the line trying to make it 11.
Fogarty with all 10 of the Marysville's points, looking to make it 11. Vikings take that lead back, 10-9. Free throw on its way, up and good. Christina Bohm quickly back into the game. She checks in for Annalise LaMontagne. Vikings back off a little bit. 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter on CTV. Schweihofer looking to get it to Saros. She gathers herself. Takes a dribble. Back to Schweihofer. She'll drive baseline. She's not cut off. Gets all the way to the rim. Kicks it to Bohm. Back to Van Slambrook. She drives. Looks to get the ball up. Can't quite finish. Bohm there. Can't quite finish. Fogarty after it. She has the basketball. She's looking ahead. Has her. Both teams struggling to finish a little bit when they push it.
Getting good looks. The Saints had an excellent possession last time down the floor. Not able to convert. Vikings have a similar outcome on that end as well.
Bohm off glass. She can't finish once again. Van Slambrook after the offensive rebound has it. Goes baseline, back to Christina Bohm. Takes a couple dribbles out. Saros, 3 on its way, no good. Vikings have the basketball, good rebound there. By looks like 33, that's Reese Powers. Looks to get it ahead, she has Madeline Smith. Vikings work it around, 1.5 to go. Drive, good looking move. Tatum Brooks, there's a good looking defensive possession by the Saints once again.
Tough there. I think consecutive trips down the floor. The Saints have done a pretty good job sharing the basketball, getting a good look. Obviously, you want some of those looks to go in, but that one didn't quite meet the standard that they've set the last few times down. An early pass just kind of fell out of bounds there. Erin Saros going to get her first breather of the day as Alexis Joshua is going to come in and provide a little pressure and speed.
Last basketball game we did here on CTV was the Saints hosting the Marine City Mariners, and actually just about in this spot, but in the second quarter, Alexis Joshua came in and gave them a huge spark off the bench. Just a 2-point game, and also of note is that, oh, look at that, we got it.
Right on the spot. She can come in and create havoc.
See if they can capitalize with a bucket. Bohm can't quite finish. Ends up in the hands of Brooks off glass. That won't go down, and the Vikings come away with it. Anna Oles pushes the basketball. What I was going to say before that great steal there by Alexis Joshua is that of note is that Gabby Fogarty is on the bench.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of those moments here in your 52-second additional break for their best player. No foul trouble there. It's just a strategic move. Joshua with the 2-point bucket.
With 2 steals and a bucket.
Critical time here for the Saints to make a run.
Turnover. Schweihofer jumper on the way, can't go down. Vikings gather it, but they're in a bad spot in the corner. Joshua went for the steal and looks like she'll be called for a foul. 11-11 with 27 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Well, you can't take them with you, and if Alexis is going to come out and play at a frenetic pace, there's nothing wrong with a couple fouls here and there. The Saints, that's just their second team foul.
That was a good place to try to go for a turnover, too. Picked up her dribble in the corner.
Julia Schweihofer going to get called for a hold on 22. Madeline Smith trying to get away from her as the Saints provide pressure.
Vikings able to get it in. Smith with the basketball. Saints applying some more pressure. They get it over to Caitlin Kane. And another foul on Alexis Joshua.
St. Clair foul, number 14, Alexis Joshua.
Nice intensity in the front court, but when you're out in the middle on an island, you got to know when to just sprint ahead and get a stance rather than, I mean, any contact out there is on full display.
Right. One might call that a defensive heat check.
See what you can get away with. Shot there by Caitlin Kane.
Bucket. Make it 13-11 Marysville. It's clock at 6, now at 5, 4.
It's got to be aware.
Ball going to roll away, and that will end the first quarter here on CTV. It's the visiting Vikings 13, the host Saints 11. We'll be right back after these messages.
Well, they've got drink specials every day. Rooms upstairs if you want to stay. If you love music, hear it play at the good old Murphy Inn. At the good old Murphy Inn.
Looking for a great spot to enjoy lunch or dinner with fantastic daily food and happy hour specials? Look no further than the Murphy Inn in St. Clair. This is Paul, owner of the Murphy Inn. Our chiming Irish pub features different food and drink specials every day of the week, plus live entertainment every Wednesday through Saturday. The Inn even offers 7 unique hotel rooms complete with modern amenities, perfect for overnight stays or a weekend getaway.
There ain't no doubt we're going out to the good old Murphy Inn. To the good old Murphy Inn.
The choice is yours at St. Clair Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Choose better service. Choose more for your trade, because we really do care in St. Clair.
Choose a better car buying experience at St. Clair Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, where you'll get all your rebates and the lowest price.
They really do care in St. Clair.
We are St. Clair County's highest volume dealer.
St. Clair Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge.
Just minutes from everywhere.
Welcome back to high school basketball presented by CTV. Tom Brenner, Brad Robbins with you here. Pretty intense first quarter of action here at St. Clair High School. The Vikings with that 13-11 lead. Marysville will have the first possession. What do you think of that first quarter, Brad?
I liked it. I thought the pace was good. We talked a little bit about some missed opportunities really for both teams. The Saints with a lot of layups that didn't go. Got to find a way to stop Gabby Fogarty, though, because Outside of 2 points, you know, she had 11. She matched the Saints team total, and she's going to be a problem if they can't contain her.
She sat about a minute and a half of game clock there in the first quarter, and no harm done by the Saints in her absence. Saints push it up.
I really like that. I like the way the Saints are playing in terms of tempo. I think this is one of those times where it looks like Coach Pietrzakowski's okay with upping the amount of possessions. You just got to make somebody besides Fogarty beat you in that case. Saints, I think they can pressure the guards, and I think they can run on the Vikings a little bit. So that might be the – instead of trying to keep somebody under 40, I might just try to race them to 50 and see how it goes.
Sarah Lohr back into the game for Paige Van Slambrook. Lohr gets it in quickly to Alexis Joshua. 13-13. Pressure applied there by Allison Hall.
Good cut by Sarah Lohr.
Tried to hand it off to Annalise Lamontagne, but the Saints turn it over once again. Good crossover there by Fogarty. Goes up, no good. And the Saints with another quick defensive rebound. Ball's tied up. It's in possession of the Saints.
Yeah, right there, just as a note of scouting, it looks like if you can, keep Fogarty off of that right hand. She's not quite as comfortable going inside the paint, coming from the right to the left. She'd like to just turn the corner. Pretty good bounce pass there by Alexis Joshua.
Got it to Lamontagne. She can't finish. Joshua after the loose ball once again. Ends up on the baseline to the Vikings. Saints doing a pretty good job handling the pressure.
A couple of good bounce passes there, good looks. Just not able to catch quite clean to get a balanced shot.
About a minute and a half into the second quarter. Vikings looking to get it inside to Fogarty. They do. She takes a couple dribbles, spins to the bucket, off glass and good.
Got to keep her off that block, make her go the other side. She's too comfortable over there. That's a tough matchup for the Saints.
13 of the Vikings' 15 points belong to Gabby Fogarty. Let's see who they call this foul on.
Viking foul number 11, Gabby.
That's a big one. That's why I wanted to wait for it. Just her first, though. Joshua goes to the bench for the Saints. Gottler gets it in. Annalise Lamontagne has it. Gathers herself, takes a couple dribbles. Back to Gottler in the corner. Fakes, drives the baseline. Back to Annalise. Annalise takes a long two. Up, no good. Fogarty with the basketball. Vikings will push. She's comfortable pushing the basketball for sure. Goes all the way up. Draws contact. They call the foul. Looks like they're going to count it.
Just was looking for more of a demonstrative buckets good symbol there from the official. I didn't get one, but I think we're going to count it.
Emphatic.
It was the opposite of that. It was the anticlimactic and one. Pretty darn nice play. I think our hesitance to know what they called kind of ruined the excitement of the play. It was pretty darn nice.
That was a great play. We took on the demeanor of the official.
Yeah. Well, we weren't. I thought everybody was going to be disappointed. I didn't know what to do with it.
Saros goes up with it, draws a foul. She'll go to the line to shoot two herself. It's 18-13 Marysville.
It's a critical spot here for the Saints. 18-13, Gabby Fogarty starting to heat up a little bit. This is a big spot here on the foul line. Need to just kind of cut back into it and change the momentum, or at least stall what the Vikings have going right now.
Aaron Saros, as we mentioned, just a freshman. First free throw up, no good.
Fournier checks for Anna Oles in the gray.
Is this an alternate uniform, would you say?
It looks that way, but I'm not sure if they just go with those with their road unis.
I'm so used to the white or the navy.
Right.
But we're getting old.
That's true. And I've been out of it. I have not seen the Marysville Grays, so this is the first that I've seen them.
I imagine this is the first time on CTV. We'll call it a CTV debut.
That could be.
Vikings get it ahead to Kane. She goes up. Good defensive play by Annalise Lamontagne. Saints will push. Back to Annalise. She couldn't quite get it. Gottler after it. Goes out of bounds.
My audible gasp was just that disappointment. The Saints had a good thing going there. The break looked good, and that pass just kind of – it was thrown to where she was, not where she was going to be on a full sprint.
Had a chance for that end-to-end momentum. 5.5-minute mark is where we're at Marysville 18, St. Clair 13.
Saints continue to pressure. Lohr up front, Saros up front. They've been able to provide it. They just got to do it without fouling. Here's that matchup we got to help with.
Saints do bring 2 bodies towards her. 3 on the way, no good. This time Marysville got a shot at it, but good job by the Saints to get a body on her. It goes out of bounds, and St. Clair will have it.
That's the first time I've noticed the Saints pinch down and double and force the 3. At this point, I think you just want to see somebody else hit a shot.
Saints able to get the basketball in. Lohr pushes it. Good job by the Saints to break that pressure. Bohm has it up top. She gets it over to Gottlieb.
There you go. Good
3
ball
on the
movement.
way. Up. No good. Just short. LaMontagne got a hand on it. Can't quite handle it. Back comes Marysville. That's Caitlin Kane. Gets it to Fogarty. 5-minute mark is where we're at. Fogarty into the lane. Steps through. Off glass and good.
Really good secondary break by the Saints in the last one to get Sky Gottler a 3. Didn't go, but then Fogarty puts on a display again.
Saints get it in. Lohr did take a dribble. Gets it back to Gottler. Gottler gets it over to the timeline. Hands it off. Bohm. Thought about the 3. Thought about it twice. Doesn't take it. Back up top to Lohr.
She's already hit one. If they're gonna make her take it, she got to shoot it.
Saints turn the basketball over, and back comes Fogarty. That's not something you want to hear. Fogarty steps through again, off glass and good.
Fogarty excellent with her pivot feet.
She's
Does
at
a really
20,
good job up and under.
20 first half points.
Well, we mentioned it right out of the gate, so nobody on this broadcast is surprised. You got to stop her. Easier for me to say up here in headphones than it is for anybody else.
Good look inside for the Saints. Contact drawn. Good job by Aaron Saros to get good position. She'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Viking foul number 30, Mackenzie Fournier.
3 Vikings set to check into the game as well as Alexis Joshua for the Saints.
Joshua came in earlier, collected 2 quick fouls, but also provided a spark and a bucket. So maybe try to recapture a little bit of that momentum here off the foul shots.
Julia Schweihofer will also check in. Free throw up and good for Aaron Saros.
So these 2, Joshua and Schweihofer, they did kind of come in and they looked like they had it in them to pressure and did a pretty good job against Marysville's guards. I think that's something the Saints can do, but you got to do it without fouling.
Second free throw on its way, up and good as well. Hall brings it across, gets it up ahead to Smith. Smith takes a couple dribbles, drives the lane, guarded by LaMontagne, off glass and good. Madeline Smith with a nice looking left hand, make it 24-15 Marysville. Joshua pushes it ahead. Bohm fakes, goes one way, goes back to the other, gets her own miss, goes up again, can't quite finish. LaMontagne. Looks like they're going to call this one on the floor.
Looks like it's going to be in the bonus. There's a noticeable difference. You see Fogarty check back in when she's not on the floor.
Yeah.
It really feels like the tide turns immediately, and the Saints seem like the more put-together team. But as soon as Gabby Fogarty comes in, she just changes the way the game looks.
This looks like that's Madeline Smith, who's probably not even in the picture right now.
In the free throw ladder, they'll quick break this. They've got assignments. Having coached against Coach Rathje for quite a few years, I can tell you this is just something that they do. They'll put a shooter down there, may hold you accountable, and then they'll ladder it all the way from each person knows where they're supposed to go, and the goal is to get it up there in under 3 seconds and get a shot.
Tatum Brooks is back for the Saints. Take care of that, hopefully. Second free throw for LaMontagne is no good. Made the front end of that one. It's 24-16. We're at 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Good play by Christina Bohm. She blocks Fogarty. Man, did the Saints need to see that happen. Schweihofer brings it across. Gets it across court. Brooks takes a dribble. Gets it inside. LaMontagne goes up. No good. Brooks there for the rebound. LaMontagne again. Almost needs to gather herself a little bit.
It's just too quick. Christina Bohm's done that a couple of times and Annalise a few times. Good looks. They need to slow down, gather, and shoot rather than keep it above their head and tap. So
good look inside for Fournier. She can't quite finish.
You have that body language with the ball in the air and you're not settled, you're not going to get foul calls either, even if you get bumped. So they've got to gather and be strong with the basketball to get the calls.
Fogarty will take a three this time. It's on its way, no good. Brooks with the rebound, gets it to Christina Bohm. Bohm gathers herself. Hey, had a teammate up ahead. Schweihofer. Joshua looking inside, nothing there. Takes a couple dribbles. Looks to back down her defender. Takes it all the way to the rim. And that's kind of what you were just talking about. Good aggressive basketball, and she draws a little contact, and they call the foul. First foul on Winston. Paige Van Slambrook back into the game for the Saints. She'll get Annalise Lamontagne. 2.5 to go. Probably a good call. Annalise does like to use her fouls most of the time. Not a bad time to take her out. Give her a little break. Joshua, first free throw up, takes a roll, just comes out.
Nice
Good rebound
play by
Bohm. Can't quite finish. Almost had it again. She hits the deck. The Vikings get it ahead. Couple fouls going to be called, bodies everywhere.
It's a little bit unfortunate there because I think that time Christina Bohm used her athleticism to go get a rebound at the high point and then gathered herself and went up with it. She wasn't able to finish, but a much better looking play there by Christina Bohm.
Viking freshman went Megan Winston. Goes to the line. 1-on-1 opportunity here for the Vikings. Free throw on its way up and short, brought down by Van Slambrook. She looks ahead. Joshua's up there. She gets it to her. See if she can gather herself. Tries to save it. Back comes Fogarty and the Vikings. They have an 8-point lead. It's 24-16. Fogarty, good look inside. Saints double. Good steal by Van Slambrook. Picks up her dribble to Bohm. Got it to Joshua, who just turned her head at the right moment.
You
contact drawn, and
you can hear Coach Pietrkowski barking for them to run. He's trying to facilitate the ball movement. And girls caught on just a little late, but, you know, it worked, and we're going to the line here.
Alexis Joshua has 3 fouls, a couple steals, bucket. 2 minutes on the dot. That's what we got left here in the second quarter on CTV. Joshua, free throw on its way, rolls, and finally the Saints get one of those to go down.
Saints keeping it within shouting distance.
Yep. Right now it's a 7-point Viking lead. Hoping to make it 6 here with the second free throw on its way. It's long. Bohm with another offensive rebound. Can she finish? Off glass, no. Brooks has it. She can't finish. Fogarty comes down with it, and they'll get a foul on Christina Bohm. Christina Bohm's doing a great job on the offensive glass. I will say, just an observation from the Marine City game, the Saints have done a significantly better job on the defensive end of just getting one rebound.
Right,
one
shot and a rebound, right? They're going to get shots in their possessions.
Second chance opportunities are not as frequent as the Marine City game.
Well, that's good. Anytime you can limit your opponent to just one tough shot and get your rebound, clear out your possessions, you can deal with teams making good shots as long as they're contested. And sometimes you just got to tip your cap, but it's those seconds and thirds, and those kill you.
Fogarty free throw up and good. I'm running out of room here.
I'm out of room. I'm under the second level here. Maybe my font needed to change. I didn't anticipate using all the side of my roster here in the first half.
The second free throw up and also good. Gabby Fogarty with 22 points.
She's doing a really nice job. She's kind of making it happen from everywhere except for the three-point arc, but she hasn't had to, right? You give it to her on the block. Doesn't really matter who's on her. And then in transition with that Euro step and pivot foot, she's been on fire with those.
Fogarty got her hand on one. She causes a turnover. Saints did have numbers there too. Fogarty up ahead. Easy bucket there for number 22. That's Madeline Smith. Vikings show pressure again. Fogarty with another steal. She drives into the lane. Bounce pass again, and she's got Smith for another easy bucket.
It's going to cause the 32nd timeout by Coach Pietrkowski as Gabby Fogarty kind of has asserted herself and created that separation. We just jinxed it and said that the Saints were still within that shouting distance, and then the Vikings go on a 6-0 run to kind of spread it out.
Vikings 30, St. Clair 17. Minute 27 is what we have left in the second quarter. Mentioned Fogarty with 22. Madeline Smith all of a sudden just picked up 4 easy points. She's got 6 total. Caitlin Kane with the other 2. St. Clair being led by Annalise Lamontagne. She has 9. Alexis Joshua with 3, and Erin Saros with 2. Christina Bohm with 3, and that rounds out the Saints scoring from what I have down at least.
It's all unofficial. It's just tally marks. So if you're at home, piling it all together and you say something different, go with your number, not ours.
Right, right. $1:20 to go. Van Slambrook back up top, Joshua. Christina Bohm battling with Fogarty inside. Joshua almost turns the basketball. Good hands there by 23, Randy Schneider. Saints do keep the basketball, though. Van Slambrook will inbound. Saints need a bucket. Minute 12 to go.
That 1-2-2 look here for the Vikings out of the timeout, something that the Saints haven't really had to go against quite yet. They usually trap that.
Saints kind of force it inside to Lamontagne, and Fogarty comes away with a steal, and she's fouled. And back to the line for Gabby Fogarty.
St. Clair foul, number 5, Annalise.
Chance for point 23.
First. Team's 9.
Fogarty, a senior, free throw on its way, is up and good. Has she decided, is she playing college basketball?
I'm not sure. If she hasn't, she should really consider it. But I haven't. I would venture to guess that she is, but I have not heard where it's come from. I can inquire with Coach Ratsby.
I meant to ask him that before the game. We talked about just about everything but that. Give her 24 of the Vikings 32. Lamontagne inside, goes to her right hand, long. Van Slambrook crashes in for the offensive rebound. Bohm dribbles with her left. Joshua. Saints have 45 seconds to get into this lead. Floater, no good. And Fogarty with the rebound. Lohr got after her. Fogarty. Lohr knocks it away. Joshua has it. Saints have 35 seconds now to cut into that Viking lead. It's 15 points right now, 32-17. Under that 30-second mark, Joshua. Bohm looking inside. Van Slambrook not there. Corner. Van Slambrook 3 on its way. Up and good.
Big shot. You had to have it. Really helps us out here as broadcasters who are saying something about shouting distance at a 6 or 7 point lead. And since then, that's the first bucket the Saints have had. So thank you, Paige Van Slambrook.
Lohr lets her go. Vikings swing it around, fake, drive in there, back to Fogarty, and time runs out on the first half. Positive note that the Saints end on the first half there. It's 12-point Viking lead, 32 points for the Vikings, and 24 of those belong to Gabby Fogarty. I'd ask for a comment, but this one's about as simple as it gets. Gabby Fogarty is on fire right now.
Yeah, and if you're going into the locker room and you're Coach Pietrzakowski, most of your time in there is going to be spent talking about different ways that you can stop her from, I don't know, doing all the things that she's doing right now, whether it's working you on the block or getting you in transition. So, like I said before, easy for us to say on the headsets, harder to do in the locker room, getting all those people in all the places they need to be.
More Matt Gold action at St. Clair High School after these messages on CTV.
North Star Bank, your local community bank serving St. Clair, Sanilac, Huron, and Washtenaw counties. When you need a local community bank for home loans, checking, savings, and other banking needs, North Star Bank is the community bank that you want to deal with. The bank that will take care of all your personal and business needs. North Star Bank has a new mobile application that you can download to make banking even easier. North Star Bank, guiding the way. Member FDIC. Neiman's Family Markets, from produce, deli, bakery, meats, or even bagels. Neiman's Family Markets. They have it all on Kearney Drive in St. Clair. Neiman's Family Markets. St. Clair's Ace Hardware in the Riverview Plaza is now open 7 days a week for your shopping needs. Everything you need from auto supplies, wiring, paint, craftsman tools. St. Clair's Ace Hardware has picnic items, a complete gift department with candles and more. Don't miss the specials on Valspar paint. St. Clair's Ace Hardware in the Riverview Plaza.
Welcome back to high school basketball on CTV. Tom Brenner, Brad Robbins here with you for a Matt Goal action. The host Saints and the visiting Marysville Vikings. It's Marysville 32 and St. Clair 20 as we begin the third quarter. Marysville starts with the basketball, and the young lady inbounding the basketball just happens to have 24 first half points. That is senior Gabby Fogarty. She has the basketball inside, goes to her right hand off glass and good.
Picks up right where she left off, and we said going into the break that the entire discussion would be centered on finding a way to not let that happen. And this is a critical 4-minute stretch here for the Saints. That when you're down now 14 points and you've got this kind of beginning 4 minutes of this half to either set the bar, you're coming back, you're going to play with a lot of intensity and claw your way back in, or it can get worse. So you got to make sure you play, put a little pressure on and match the scores and try to go for a little run of your own.
Erin Saros takes her shot at Fogarty. Fogarty gets it across. Her teammate drives, goes up with a shot, no good. Gottler with a rebound. Another good job by the Saints to pull that rebound down, get it ahead. Annalise LaMontagne has it. That time she gathered herself a little better. Goes up off glass and good.
Yeah, we saw that a few times early in the first half, just not able to convert on plays like that just because everything seemed a little bit rushed. That time much better.
Annalise with 11 points on the night.
Sarah Laura trying to be aggressive there, but kind of ran up and bumped instead of getting out in front and getting an angle. Picks up her first.
Fogarty gets it in. Allison Hall guarded by Lohr. Lohr comes down, a bit of a double team there. Annalise LaMontagne playing back a little bit. Vikings swing it around. Allison Hall has it now. Marysville taking their time a little bit. Probably trying to work that thing in to you-know-who. All around the perimeter. They get it deep inside right there. That is Anna Oles. Saints cause a turnover once again, but the Vikings have it. Fogarty will drive the lane with that right hand. Gets it across to Oles. Oles up, no good. Fogarty on the basketball there. Tries to bounce it off the Saints, but they are able to take it away. Erin Saros with the basketball. Minute and a half into the second half. Annalise LaMontagne goes up off glass. No good. Vikings had it. Looks like it goes off Annalise's leg, but the Saints will keep it.
Saints with a rare defensive possession where they allowed more than one shot. I think pulling out the positives here, the Saints in the first half did a pretty darn good job of when the Vikings did miss. They kept it to one shot and a rebound. Problem is Gabby Fogarty didn't miss enough.
Gottler, 3 up, no good. Back in the hands of Saros. He goes off glass long. Bohm almost had it over the back of Fogarty. Saints still have it. Tried to get it to LaMontagne. Goes out of bounds off the Vikings.
Saints probably leading this game in second chance opportunities and maybe rebounding. Got to convert. A lot of close looks.
Gottler inbounding, trying to get it in. She gets it across to Bohm. Bohm back up top to Lohr. Lohr swings it around. Gottler drives baseline. Tries to get around her defender and does. Back up top, Bohm. Under the 6-minute mark here in the third quarter, Saints will reset. Lohr gets her orders from Coach Pietrzakowski. Bohm in the corner. Looks like a long 2, up and good. Give Christina Bohm 5 points. Saints applying pressure. Wreaking havoc there on Allison Hall. Hall has it. Count is on. Lohr trying to keep her across. Vikings get it across the timeline. Great effort by the Saints on the press. Anna Oles with the basketball cut off by Bohm. Keeps her dribble alive and gets the Vikings back up top. Lohr has been menace on defense right now. Tip the basketball across the timeline. Saints force it back. Vikings bring it back quickly, excuse me. LaMontagne ended up on the deck. Vikings maintain.
Saints doing a nice job keeping that intensity up in this critical time here.
Oles triggers, gets it inside, easy look. Tipped away there by Gottler. Gottler will push it ahead. Saints down just 10 at this point. Fogarty tried to cut her off and couldn't. Bohm, open look, up, good.
Another good shot. Saints on a little bit of a run here. Nice response to the early bucket. Cut it to single digits.
Saints force another turnover. Lohr has it, gathers, gets it up ahead. Saros has it. Bohm, can she stay hot? Jumper up, good. Big time run by Christina Bohm and the Saints. Ryan Ratzi and the Vikings will kind of roll with it. They're rolling with the punches. Saints cut this lead to 6, 34-28. We're heading towards 4.5 to go here in the third quarter. Defense leading to offense for the St. Clair Saints. Vikings get around. Oles thought about it. Hall thought about it. She's cut off. Lohr took a lot of contact, no whistle. Lohr back at it. Lots of contact here from both teams. Vikings will reset themselves. Oles gets
gotta help it. Gotta help it.
Fogarty goes back to her left, draws contact. Annalise Lamontagne, I think Coach Pietrkowski a little frustrated there.
Yeah, understandably. The issue, though, is whenever, at this point, it's not about what happens after Fogarty catches it at the block. All the work has to be done before she catches it at the block. And once it's caught there, you're at the mercy of whatever call they want to make, and she's probably going to be successful at the foul line. So I totally get the frustration, but it's getting the players to understand that she cannot catch it there. That's the difficult part of it. And right there, Saros got pinned. Ball went in, and it put Annalise in a position where maybe she didn't foul her, but you're going to get that call if you're Gabby Fogarty at the block.
First one was good. Second one is good as well. 28 points now for Gabby Fogarty. Saints look to push it ahead. Annalise gets it, gathers, goes up, no good. Vikings come away with it. Annalise knocks it out of bounds. Marysville will keep it. Viking lead is 8, 36-28. 4:03 is what is on the clock here at St. Clair High School. Saints continue to bring that pressure. I like it. Oh, Gottler almost came away with a steal. Vikings will go ahead. They technically have numbers. Joshua, who's back into the game, creates another steal. Every time she comes into the game, it seems like she's wreaking havoc.
And that wasn't her man. That was just her kind of helping to catch up. Sky Gottler went for a steal and missed it. They kind of switched people, and then Alexis Joshua did a good job of causing a problem.
Joshua gets it across. Bohm in the corner. Gottler, three on its way is long. Joshua's there to clean it up, though. Looks to the bucket, goes up, blocked there by 21, Allison Hall, and the Vikings come away with it. Hall across the timeline, behind the back. Drives, pulls up, no good. Bohm and Joshua both there. 3:25 to go here in the third quarter. Joshua, hesitation, got it over. Schweihofer, open look, three, up, good.
Big shot, Julia Schweihofer, sophomore. Big knockdown play there.
Vikings push it up ahead, under the bucket, miss. Lamontagne comes away with it, looks ahead. She's got Bohm. Bohm guarded by Fogarty, goes up, no good. Lamontagne hustled back and got it. Goes up, that time she gets the foul call.
Annalise Lamontagne really having a great game. Unfortunately, she probably should have 6 to 8 more points. Just hasn't been able to get a roll when she has gathered, like in the last possession. Still didn't get it to go, but right there, she's just kind of everywhere. Loose balls, rebounds. That time she started that break with a nice outlet pass just over the top of Gabby Fogarty's fingers to Bohm, and then she's going to be the beneficiary at the line here.
First one was up and no good. Gottler goes out of the game. Van Slambrook back in at 3:02 on the clock. Marysville 36, St. Clair 31. Second one on its way up, and that one is good. Give Annalise 12 points on the night. Joshua still applying that pressure behind the back once again there for Allison Hall. She gets it across the timeline. Things picking up, and look at Coach Pietrkowski. He's fired up on the sideline as the Saints pressure is getting them right back into this game.
Very nice job moving her feet. Alexis Joshua did it. When she came in earlier, she did it with fouling. This time not fouling and causing turnovers.
Joshua with the basketball. Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Picks up her dribble, gets it inside. Van Slambrook goes up. Off too long. Rebound there by Annalise Lamontagne, and she finishes.
Coach Rathje for the Vikings letting them play through it. Oh, no, he's going to call a timeout. There have been a few spots here on this run where I've looked over. You get that sense in the gym. You peek to see if the coach wants a timeout. And right there, he went for it as the deficit is now just 2, down from an early 16, I think we were at earlier in this quarter even. So if you're Coach Pietrkowski and the Saints, you've done exactly what you had to do. And now that psychological piece to the game comes in where Marysville's starting to question whether or not they really have a firm grasp on the basketball game, and I don't think at halftime it had the same feeling. So great job by the Saints, and credit some of their bench players for coming in and making that happen.
2:31 on the clock. That is as good of a run as I bet you the Saints have had all season long. Defense, offense, making their free throws, finishing with the basketball close to the rim. The Saints this year, Brad, are averaging 37 points a game. They're at 34.
Right. They're right there, and we got 2 and change left in the third quarter. And part of it is that we mentioned that earlier out of the gate when the game felt a little more like this. Maybe just try to race them to 50 so that you're going to make sure you get yours. And then we did talk about having somebody other than Gabby Fogarty beat you, which hasn't quite come to fruition, but maybe keeping her out there and putting Bohm's long arms in her face will help.
Bohm had the basketball. Fogarty reached in. I think the Saints were hoping for a foul there. They do call a tied-up ball. Possession arrow to the Saints.
Marysville going to apply some pressure of their own, see if they can create some turnovers.
Brooks gets it in. Christina Bohm with the basketball. Brooks with it once again, gets it ahead. Schweihofer drives the lane, back across Bohm. She'll see how hot she can stay. Misses, but gets her own miss. Up, no good. Brooks there again, off glass. Couldn't quite finish, but draws the foul. Man, this place would have went nuts if she finished that thing.
Nice job by Tatum Brooks off the bench, gets a second look. The Saints, like I said a little bit ago, the Saints probably have the advantage on the glass today. They're getting plenty of rebounds. Be nice to convert some of those putbacks.
Free throw on his way is long. Stays a 2-point Viking lead. Number 10, Megan Winston, back into the game for the Vikings. She checks in for Allison Hall, who's handled the basketball a ton for Ryan Radsby's squad today. Senior Tatum Brooks looking to make this a 1-point ball game. Second one's up and no good. Fogarty tracks it down for Marysville. Christina Bohm applies the pressure on her. Fogarty will bring it across the timeline, met there by Joshua. Still keeps her dribble going. Fogarty all the way to the bucket, not there. Bohm drives the lane. Saints pushing, still can't finish. Joshua mixing it up in there. Ball goes out of the bounds to Marysville.
Interesting, on both ends of the floor there, don't get a charge call or a block, and then pretty much the exact same recipe on the other end. Doesn't result in any baskets, points, fun, anything.
Saints force another turnover. Joshua and St. Clair all fired up.
That ball should not be taken out of bounds right here. I don't believe it was touched.
Yep,
on the
turned
floor.
it over under the bucket. Nobody touched
play.
it.
If I'm Coach Pietrzakowski, I'm asking for my baseline out of bounds play here, but I don't think he's on to it. So.
Yep. Van Slambrook looking to get it in, turned over. Back comes Anna Olsen, the Vikings. She goes up, guarded there, but that one can't quite go down. Lohr comes away with it. She did a good job of getting back, then got the rebound. Van Slambrook bounces it inside. Lamontagne can't quite finish. She gets it back anyways. Gets the rebound again. This time the Vikings come away with it. Anna Olsen with it. Bodies everywhere.
Lamontagne putting in a lot of work. Gets the foul there, no harm. Just an aggressive foul.
A little shaken up after that.
That pass and that turnover is exactly the reason why you try to get that baseline out of bounds play. Didn't get a bucket out of it. Marysville's coming the other way.
Fogarty did a great job of getting it to Oles. Tatum Brooks with a strong rebound and pull away. Across the timeline comes the senior Tatum Brooks in the corner. Van Slambrook, three on its way. Not through. Back comes Marysville. Under a minute to go. Kane pushed it. Brooks with another one. Looks ahead.
Good look.
Good pass to Lamontagne. Gathers herself up and good.
Nice look. Tatum Brooks turned her head, threw it right away. Nice awareness, and the Saints continue to pressure.
Don't look now, but it's 36-36 and another Viking turnover.
And the Vikings are, I think, forced into a timeout. Yeah,
I
wasn't sure if they stepped out. I think, though, what you're highlighting there, though, is it was going to be a turnover because that time the pressure from the Saints, and plus they did a nice job on that press using the sideline as a defender. There was nowhere for the ball handler to go. Earlier, Fogarty beat him up the sideline as we just weren't able to rotate in time, but that time, nice pressure applied by the Saints, forced the Vikings into a timeout. And in a tie basketball game in the third quarter, if you're able to get the opposing coach to have to spend a timeout, it might be big later. You know, it might be a spot where they like to get one and can't because they don't have any left. So nice job there by the Saints. Even though they didn't get that turnover, not a lost effort because you forced them to burn one. And that's not nothing. That could be significant later on.
I don't have the ESPN play-by-play for this one, but it does seem like it's been a long time since Gabby Fogarty really started getting after it.
I almost said that on the way up, and it seems like the Saints have done a little bit better job outside of that one possession where she went to the foul line, forcing her to be a perimeter player, and she's bringing the ball a little bit more for the Vikings, and once she passes it, she hasn't been able to quite get it back. So Saints need to continue to do that. That's been a good recipe for them.
She has 28 of the 36 Viking points.
Vikings
Saints
expanding a 1-2-2 zone. Got to be careful with it. Try to get the diagonals are gonna beat that. So against this 1-2-2, they're gonna pinch down and try to trap anything that goes to the corner. But if you can throw some diagonals, you can get backside 15-footers, you can get some threes, but you certainly got to be able to throw them and catch them, which is easier said than done.
5 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. Make it 3, 2, 1. That one rattles in and out. That is huge. As this game is tied 36-36. Big time fourth quarter for you here on CTV after these messages.
The choice is yours at St. Clair Chevrolet Buick GMC.
Choose better service. Choose more for your trade.
Because we really do care in St. Clair.
Choose a better car buying experience when you shop 3 brands under one roof at St. Clair Chevrolet Buick GMC, where you'll get all your rebates and the lowest price, plus free pickup and delivery to your home or office.
We are St. Clair County's highest volume dealer.
Chevrolet Buick GMC.
Just minutes from everywhere.
Welcome back to high school basketball on CTV. Tom Brenner and Brad Robbins with you here. And Brad, this has turned into an absolutely outstanding basketball game.
Yeah, we both said we're a little surprised to be at this spot, but the Saints have earned their way back into a tie basketball game, and they're just looking to win the fourth quarter. Have done a much better job on Gabby Fogarty in the third quarter, as she went for, I think, 24 in the first half, just a couple there in the third quarter. So going to have to do that for 8 more minutes.
Vikings showing a little energy to start the fourth quarter, and a bucket there to start things off for Caitlin Hall. Gives the Vikings their lead back. It's 38-36. If you heard that roar from the crowd there and Coach Pietrzakowski, it's because they believed the Vikings carried the basketball and it wasn't called.
Might have had a case.
Kind of looked like one of those, not to totally defend the official, but looked like maybe the back of the player was facing him. And you couldn't see the basketball. Not to say that another official couldn't have got that for him. Bohm gets it back, lower. First minute of action, Saints turn it over. And Elise Lamontagne continues to be aggressive, goes up, can't finish. Fogarty there, back to the Vikings.
Those are those big spots that Saints just haven't been able to convert there. That's a good steal and a good effort and everything good about it until the ball didn't go in the hoop.
Fogarty with the basketball. She's guarded there by Erin Saros. Minute into the fourth quarter. A little reach-in foul going to be called here.
Coach Ratchie, doing this a long time, was right in the ear of the official because he didn't like the two things that happened on the previous possession. And unfortunately for Sarah Laura, she might have earned the courtesy foul there because I've seen much worse in this basketball game than that.
Yep. Vikings bringing it back across. Aggressive move there. And Elise Lamontagne will pick up another foul.
Far be it for me to start venting on officials, but nothing that's been called on the last 2 possessions has been called until this game. Right. So pet peeve was always, you can't decide to tighten up and officiate a different basketball game at 6:57 left in the fourth quarter, right? Do this at 6:57 in the first quarter and everybody knows what they're doing. Yep. Now you're going to see girls have to try to adjust.
Right.
It's probably a little unfair.
Winston got a good look inside, going to go out of bounds to the Saints.
That time, nice job by Christina Bohm. Using her length, stayed nice and still, forced Winston into a really awkward look, and she turned the ball over.
Lamontagne is the Saints' leading scorer tonight, too, with 16 points. That's a big blow for them. Vikings turn it over again. Lower on the deck. Winston as well. Good pass ahead there to 20 Kane. Fogarty has it, goes up. Good job there by Tatum Brooks to get her hands straight up and force a tough shot. Bohm brings it ahead. Back to Brooks. Brooks gathers. Lohr, fake, dribble, shot on its way. Up, no good. Brooks tried to go after it, but good rebound there by Allison Hall. Hall ahead, and that one will feel good.
Lohr just a rough angle and tripped up the Viking player who's still down. That looks to be Allison Hall.
Hopefully she just got the wind knocked out of her.
Landed a little awkward there.
6:17 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's Marysville 38, St. Clair 36. Looks like Coach Rathje is able to get Allison Hall to just get up into a sitting position, take her time, get her up. Hopefully she'll be okay. She's handled the basketball a lot for them today.
Yeah, she had a lot. She's done a nice job against the pressure for the most part. And right there, Sarah Lohr was trying to provide that pressure. Didn't take the angle to get out in front, which we saw earlier from Sarah as well, and that time knocked Allison Hall to the ground. I don't believe that this is a charged timeout, so we should probably get back to work here. Unless somebody wants to spend one.
Hall, a senior for Coach Ryan Rathje's Vikings. So senior Annalise Lamontagne on the bench is the big storyline right now for the Saints.
Her energy has really been the main catalyst in getting the Saints back into this one just at the 2-point deficit. Minute 45 into the fourth.
Saints showing them zone. Vikings work it around. Into the lane goes Winston. Gets it across. Driving the lane there is Kane. She's cut off by Brooks and Gottler. Vikings still being patient. Fogarty with the basketball. We're under the 6-minute mark now. Still just a 2-point basketball game. 38-36. Fogarty guarded there by Saros.
Saints doing a good job mixing in this 2-3 look, just using some length. Bohm on the perimeter is going to be difficult to shoot over, and it's kept Gabby Fogarty kind of on the perimeter as well.
Kane, 3 goes in and out, goes out of bounds, stays with the Vikings. Looks like the official has some instruction here.
I think we got a bandage that made its way onto the floor, and I don't think the official wanted to pick it up, so don't blame him.
Kind of had the look of something that may have just happened.
Nice job by the Saints. Forced to do a tough
gives
shot.
Up. She's cut off by Fogarty, and they're going to get her for a foul.
Not a bad call there. I think there's no reason for it. I think, you know, that bad angle. Then anytime you cross that front shoulder in front for a steal and you don't get it completely clean, the official's going to go up with the fist, and that's what happened with Fogarty there. I think her foul trouble is negligible at this point, and maybe I haven't been paying much attention, but it hasn't been a noticeable thing that she's been down, so I got to imagine she's at 3 or less, And at this point, anything 3 or under is no big deal.
Joshua with the basketball. We're heading towards 5 minutes here. Saros on the wing.
Got away with one there.
Yep. Try to get it inside to Brooks, and maybe a ball don't lie as Fogarty has the basketball across the timeline. Good defense there.
Oh, that's a tough break.
Saints have it again. Gottler. We're under 5 minutes to go. Gottler pushing. Got it ahead. Boom. Somehow comes away with it. Gottler, 3 on the way.
A lot of air.
No good, but who's there? Alexis Joshua.
Good secondary break possession there for the Saints. Nothing wrong with that look.
A little high for Brooks. Back comes 33, Reese Powers. Spins. Fouled there by Tatum Brooks.
Wait, the foul call. It's going to be the Saints' 6th-team foul, so anything more will put the Vikings at the line, and it's not all bad. If you have a 2-point deficit, you kind of need to get yourself there. You'd like to do it maybe a little bit later than the 4:39 mark, but, you know, Marysville could be at a disadvantage if the Saints are able to take a lead late. They only have 3 team fouls at this point.
Vikings inbound play was designed for Fogarty. They got her an open look from 3, and she can't hit.
Right now, the Saints just need to keep her out there.
Lower corner 3, this would be big time, and it's good. Give the Saints the lead. Somehow, some way, it's St. Clair 39 and Marysville 38.
Big
Lohr's
shot.
First bucket of the game.
It was very timely. She's had a little bit of foul trouble, and, you know, it's been all part of the aggression. She's been a real big impact player in terms of speeding up the guards of Marysville and getting them into possessions that don't turn out real well. But offensively, she hasn't been able to get anything to go until now, and right on the spot, Sarah Lohr makes it 39-38, and if you'd have asked me if this would ever be the score in this basketball game about a half an hour ago, I'd have told you were nuts, but that's why they play it.
Yep. And I would never want to analyze Coach Pietrzakowski's basketball team for him, but I imagine this is probably the best 28 minutes of basketball his team's played all year.
You got to I mean, if you're picking it out, there's things you can correct, but the effort's been good throughout. Even with the big deficit, I didn't notice a dragging effort. And then to be able to go into the locker room and then come out and play with a belief that you can get yourself back into the guard, regardless of the outcome of this basketball game, this is kind of how you want to see your kids respond. And they've been able to take the lead with Annalise Lamontagne on the bench with some foul trouble, and she's really been the one who set the tempo for the group. And they're doing it without her right now, which is a big step in maturity for the team as well, and playing some young girls, playing some kids that don't have a ton of experience. So this is great all around.
Saints with Bohm, Joshua, Lohr, Gottler, and Brooks. Vikings try to work it around. They do get a skip pass over to Kane. Kane drives baseline, cut off by Bohm. They're trying to get it to Fogarty, almost a travel there, but still put it. Lohr is just wreaking havoc on the defensive side. Lohr and Joshua have done a tremendous job on the perimeter tonight.
Got to keep her out there.
Good job
nice
by
job
Brooks.
balling up. They got to stay big. Kind of let her into a difficult. She's great. So you got to credit Fogarty a little bit with the way that she uses her pivot feet and her body and her balance. She does a good job with that. I think right there, as soon as she reverse pivoted, Brooks and Gottler kind of relaxed just enough to let her find a crease and then draw the foul. If they'd have stayed walled up and made her kick the ball out, that would have completed it. But here we are with Fogarty at the line.
Free throw up and good. It's been a long time since she saw the basketball go through the hoop. Give her 29 points on the night.
29 out of 39.
It is a ton of points, but she's had 20-something points for a long time.
Yeah, in the first half she had 24, so just 5 here in the second. And now 6.
Free throw up and good. Give her 30 points on the night.
Marysville content to back off. They're playing that extended 2-3 zone with some pressure. We'll see how they trap. They want to force flat passes from the Saints, but if they can get into gaps and share the ball, they can get layups against it.
Saints force another Viking turnover, and they get the basketball back. The Vikings did take the lead when Fogarty was at the line. It's 40-39 Marysville. 3:32 on the clock here in the fourth quarter, and that brings Annalise Lamontagne back into the game. Alexis Joshua goes back to recharge her batteries on the bench.
Right now, nobody deep in that zone for the Saints, so they're allowing the Vikings to all play up. Yeah, there we go. Gottler goes down underneath it to stretch. Gotta make those down folks accountable for somebody.
Great look from Bohm to Lamontagne. She can't finish. Brooks on the deck. Jump ball going to be called. Possession arrow favors the Vikings.
It's going to be a not forgotten possession there. 3:17, although we'll probably have more than one jump ball between there. But even though you get the tie up, it's not for lot. As soon as this inbounds, the arrow will go back to the Saints. Could be a big thing down the stretch here at the next loose ball at a critical time.
I'm sure most basketball coaches would like to think that after that step-through foul back here with Fogarty that they'd get one on their end, but we'll see how that evens itself out as we play here with about 3 minutes to go in the fourth.
Here's that spot.
Saints bring 3 defenders on Fogarty, and they force a turnover, down by a point.
Right now there's no shame in completely selling out on double or tripling Gabby Fogarty. She kicks it out and somebody hits a 3. That's just the price you were willing to pay.
Sarah Lohr with the basketball. Under 3 minutes to go. Marysville 40, St. Clair 39. Brooks, top of the key, takes a couple dribbles, pulls up, jumper, off glass, no good. Ends up with the basketball again. Tries to go up. Foul there, going to be called. Look, we had 2 officials call a foul, another one call a jump ball, and they're going to stand by a foul being called, which I have to say is the right thing to do.
They went with the right thing. You had all 3 fists in the air, and I'm sure they got it to everybody's liking there. That was a foul.
Clock stopped at 2:45. Gottler tried to get it in, turned it over. Fogarty has it. She's looking ahead. She's got
Tough
22.
play.
Smith up off glass long. Tatum Brooks with another huge rebound. Takes a couple steps, tries to get it ahead, and another turnover. And unfortunately, a foul on Annalise Lamontagne.
So both possessions there, the Vikings did it first, and the Saints did it second. Annalise is going to foul out here too, which is big with 2:33 left. She's got to be a little more aware with her fourth and not get that fifth, unfortunately. But both possessions there, you saw the outlet person throw direct straight line passes in the center of the floor, and on neither end did it have a positive result. It's just such a tough angle to catch. You're kind of going Willie Mays style, and then you're going straight at the basket. You don't see those converted a ton.
Free throw up and no good. Gottler comes down with it, looking ahead. Has Lohr to the baseline. A lot of contact there. Another foul going to be called. That's on 21, Allison Hall.
Good attack play there by Sarah Lohr. Mentioned it earlier, Vikings not in the bonus yet. That's just their 5th.
Van Slambrook inbounds it, has Lohr. She's looking back to the baseline, dribbles it back up top. Pressure there by 20. Kane steals the basketball, carries it, and it goes back to the Saints.
Vikings Saints, the rivalry matchup, and it seems like every time the two teams playing in this game find a way to make it ugly at the end, right? We're just kind of running back and forth, and the team that can put together just probably 2 or 3 clean possessions here for the remainder of the game is going to win it.
Well, Marine City is 5-0 in the gold, the 10-1 overall. Lance Cruz in second, but then comes Marysville and St. Clair. Marysville came into this one 6-6 overall, 3-2 in the gold. The Saints 2-7 overall, but 2-3 in the gold. And I think the 7 losses overall is something you mentioned at the top of our broadcast, which is a pretty tough schedule to start things out.
Yeah, not only were you playing quality opponents, you're building your way into a brand new coach, and you're playing all of those games on the road with several inexperienced players. So there's a lot at work there. It's just a building process for Coach Pietrzakowski right now, and you're starting to get into a little bit of normalcy playing some common opponents. Obviously, this is the second time that they've had the opportunity to play Marysville. Marysville's been running the same program for going on 20 years here with Coach Rathje. He's been there a long time, and you're just going to get a little more continuity that way. So they were able to win some of their early season ball games, and Saints just kind of trying to play catch-up right now.
Gottler with a long pass, gathered in by Van Slambrook. Brooks got it across, knocked out of bounds by the Vikings. 22 there. Madeline Smith was hoping that they'd call it off the fingertips of the Saints, but it stays with St. Clair. 2:14 to go. This is going to be a big-time 2-minute stretch.
Just to highlight that pass by Gottler, that was a heck of a baseball pass across the floor.
Great look inside by Brooks to Van Slambrook. She gathers, takes a couple dribbles, picks it up. Vikings are on her. Back to Brooks. Skip is over in the corner. Gottler, jumper on the way, up long. Brooks has it again, takes a couple dribbles, goes up, no good. It's chaos. Under 2 minutes to go. It's Marysville 40. St. Clair 39. Marysville can't finish. Gottler has it. Feel the intensity here in the gym. Gottler ahead. Boom. She hasn't scored in a while. It'd be a big-time bucket if she could. Draws a foul. Oh, travel called. Probably the right call.
It just didn't come at a time that I thought a travel was going to be called, but I do agree with it.
Yep.
Saints going to continue to pressure. Nothing wrong with that. Probably just want to pressure your way into a bucket. Saints really haven't. Oh, stepped out of bounds. Didn't see it.
Vikings do keep it. Fogarty with the basketball, gets her directions from Coach Rathje. 1.5 minutes to go. Marysville with a 1-point lead. Fogarty picks up her dribble.
Tough
she
spot,
needs help.
dead ball in a bad spot.
Fogarty with a smart play, knocks it off Christina Boehm's legs, out of bounds. $1:24 to go. 1 point Marysville lead. Pressure plays, pressure decisions. Everything we asked for when we put this one on the schedule here on CTV.
No doubt about it.
Vikings nearly turn it over. That's 20. Caitlin Kane with the basketball. Back over to Fogarty, looking to almost draw contact from Christina Boehm. No foul called.
Might be
going
content.
towards a minute. Fogarty passes
just running the weave here.
Driving the lane, up off glass, no good. No foul either way. Christina Boehm with it. Vikings on the deck, Saints on the deck. Another held ball going to be called, and the possession arrow favors the Saints. Christina Boehm took a whole lot of contact, a little shook up after that one. Clock is sitting at 57 seconds. Marysville Vikings in the St. Clair High School gym have a 40-39 lead. Clock ticking.
There's a whole mess of timeouts available here. And there comes
there
one.
it is.
I'm looking at that setup now. If you're Coach Pietrzakowski, as you call this timeout, I'm probably getting ready to call another one, because I do not think, if I had $1 to bet you, that Coach Rathje is going to come out with the same defense that he just had on the floor. I think you're going to see the 1-2-2. I think he might switch back to man, but I'd be very surprised if they come out with the extended 2-3, because his thought is going to be that whatever is going on the grease board on Pietrkowski's side is going to be for that defense, and you want to rely on their inexperience to not be able to execute that play.
So just looking at the score sheet, Annalise Lamontagne fouled out. The next highest scorer for the Saints is Christina Bohm with 9 points. So nobody else in double digits. After that, a whole host of Saints have 3 points, and Aaron Saros has 2. 48 seconds on the clock.
Going to need one more big shot like Sarah Laura hit to put you in the driver's seat in this one. Going to have a possession here coming out of the sideline out of bounds. Be interesting to see if the Vikings stick with this high 2-3. If the ball comes in, I'm wondering if they'll drop. Stayed right with it. Gottler's pressing down underneath it.
Gets it to Van Slambrook. Tried to get it back across, and it's stolen by the Vikings. That's 20, Caitlin Kane, who can't finish. Vikings get the offensive rebound. They'll call the foul, but can't finish. And 33, Reese Powers will go to the line.
Saints pretty fortunate there. The missed layup might have an opportunity to keep this at just a 2-point bucket. It's a 1-and-1, so a 2-point bucket could take the lead if get her to draw iron and rebound. Saints still with plenty of timeouts.
Powers, just a sophomore. First free throw up and good. That's
Big
her first point of the night. Schweihofer back into the game. Checks in for Van Slambrook. Vikings with a 41-39 point lead. 35 seconds on the clock. Big free throw here is up, no good. But the Vikings come away with the offensive rebound. But it looks like a foul may be called against Marysville, and the Saints get the basketball.
And that's the 6th. So anything else the Vikings do is going to result in foul shots for the Saints as well.
I did not get a good look there, but that's a massive call.
It's a huge call, and it hasn't been called all day long. So we made mention of that a little earlier.
Another St. Clair turnover. Marysville came away with it, and Coach Ratzi immediately calls a full timeout with a 2-point lead and just 22 seconds on the clock.
I think right now the disappointing thing for the Saints is they've had some stops and had some good fortune on the defensive end, but they've turned it over without getting a shot at the rim in 3 or 4 consecutive possessions. And when you're down by 1 and then 2 for that amount of time, you'd like to give yourself a little more looks. We thought maybe Sky Gottler had a 3 that was going to go. It was a little long. Tatum Brooks had the rebound putback opportunity, but that was with over a minute left in the basketball game, and since then, the Saints haven't been able to really put a shot on the rim. Some of that credit goes to Marysville's defense. Sure. They've been doing a great job being aggressive, but you'd like to convert some of it self-inflicted passes off target. Just got to get one to go. This was a timeout called by the Vikings. Be interesting to see how the Saints want to play it. It's going to be in the back court, I believe. It should be over in front of the Saints sideline. Or in the Saints bench, rather. Okay. They're going to go opposite side, but the Saints are going to match up. Try to deny the ball in. Nothing wrong with that. Just can't give up anything deep and no easy layups.
Allison Hall will inbound the basketball from Marysville, looking to get it in. She does. She finds 22. Madeline Smith, and the Saints will foul. 19 seconds on the clock. So with just a 2-point lead, we're going to have ourselves a free throw contest until further notice.
Shooting 2. Sarah Lohr picks up her 4th. Something to monitor if we get some overtime.
Free throw up and no good.
It's big for the Saints. These are those coaching decisions. If she misses, you let your kids just run down and try to get a quickie.
Second one no good as well, and Christina Bohm has it. The Saints are down 2. The clock is running. We're at 15 seconds. Brooks gets it over to Schweihofer, and Coach Pietrkowski will call timeout.
See right there, the thought process is probably you rebound the ball, you let your girls run and see if there's something easy, and once you have to slow it down before you get that turnover, you call the timeout and try to dial something up. And I don't know, what are you doing here? You coaching this game? You trying to get 2, or are you trying to finish it?
Oh, that's a great question. It's easy for me to say.
Yeah, right.
But I do have to say we haven't seen a three-pointer go down.
Well, Sarah Lohr's went in.
In a while.
Now here's what I'm thinking though. If I'm Coach Pietrkowski, I am probably dialing up my best three-point shooter at least to be that option. And the reason being is because without Annalise LaMontagne, I no longer have Gabby Fogarty. I don't have the best player on the floor. So I want to end this thing, right? I want to steal it. I don't necessarily want to play against Gabby Fogarty for a fifth quarter. And if I have the ball, I'm going to try to knock this thing down. That doesn't mean I'm shooting it with 1 second, though. I'm shooting that three with 4 or 5, and I'm telling Tatum Brooks to rebound and put the ball back. You know, I'm crashing. Right. But, yeah, I think I dial one up. I put my best shooter somewhere and try to get her the ball and steal this one with not very much time to go.
I'm going with the Christina Bohm long two.
That might end up happening. There's
God, look at the clock. 9 seconds, 8. Clock is ticking lower. Will drive the lane, pull up, shot up, no good. Ball is loose. Clock still ticking. Goes out of bounds to the Vikings with 3 seconds. Obviously, the Saints need something magical to happen here. Fogarty will inbound the basketball, gets it ahead. Vikings gather it, and that should do it, and that is the case. Big-time, hard-fought basketball game. It does end in a 41-39 Marysville victory. We talked about it earlier, and it's not that you want to sit here and say, well, sometimes a moral victory is what you need. You can call it whatever you want, but it feels to me that is I don't want to say program-changing type game for Coach Pietrzakowski, but an important moment in this season for the Saints. Yeah,
there will be plenty out. The season's still pretty young, and you're going to have a district tournament, and Marysville's in it, and you're going to have some reasons to believe, and if you can pull anything out of it, you're going to say on one hand, you play like that in the second half, you know, you can learn. You can't give up the 24 to the girl that we told you about for the last 3 days in the first half, you know. But then again, you can pull on it and say it would have been easy to quit. It would have been easy to pack it in and not give an effort. And unfortunately, they just didn't hit enough shots. They had an opportunity to win that basketball game.
You kind of mentioned it. Gabby Fogarty, the senior star for the Vikings, had 24 first-half points. I don't want to say she just ends up with 30, but in some ways she just ends up with 30 with 6 points in the second half. That's a positive they can take away. You also kind of look at the score sheet and kind of those effort plays. Annalise LaMontagne and Christina Bohm, 9 times out of 10, are going to probably lead them in scoring and rebounding. And he started some young players.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And they competed at a very high level. And, oh, by the way, they got down about 16 points at one point.
And they brought themselves back using their depth. It wasn't that it was just Christina or Annalise bringing them back in the game. Alexis Joshua came in, gave them valuable minutes. Sarah Lohr provided pressure. You know, Erin Saros did a nice job as a freshman on the floor. So lots to take away from it, but you got to learn how to win these games because, you know, losing doesn't ever feel good.
Saints will move to 2-8 overall, 2-4 in the gold. Marysville will move to 7-6 overall, 4-2 in the gold. Marine City and Lance Cruz both in action tonight. Marine City playing center line and Lance Cruz playing Lakeshore. Those two teams that they are playing are both at the bottom of the gold. I'll go ahead and assume that they won those games. So technically speaking, I imagine the gold standings will remain the same. That's an outstanding basketball game here on CTV. Tom Brenner and Brad Robbins, we thank you so much for watching us on watchctv.org. We'll see you next time for high school basketball on CTV.
This CTV sports presentation has been brought to you by St. Clair Chevy, Buick GMC, We Care. By Murphy Inn Restaurant and Hotel in St. Clair. By North Star Bank, North Star guiding the way. By Neiman's Family Market. By St. Clair Home Goods and Ace Hardware. And by CTV Community TV in Marine City and St. Clair.